Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm good, Teresa. Thanks.
How about you, PG?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. PG, well, first of all, let me just welcome everybody to the chat, too. I see Rada and Huey and Nevaeh, what are you doing in the chat? And Brown-Eyed Girl, Brown-Eyed Gal. Oh, there's Sancho. Anyway, welcome, everybody. I got to ask you, though, PG, first, and we'll just get the elephant out of the room. How do you feel about the your excommunication from the community?
Well, first of all, I didn't know I was an auditor. So if he's going to kick me out from doing auditing, then I'm good with that.
I'm wondering if you have any plans for the future, or if you have like another group of people, another community that maybe you have put your resume into, or anything like that.
I know my life is over since I've been banished by this person. My life is totally over. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Is there any way we can? I don't know if anybody even wants to show that. I was going to say I have it up. I think I have the window up on my computer. I could show it. Let me see. Yeah, where will you go next, Peachy? What? I mean, you can go anywhere you want now. To say that your life is over, I mean, it's just begun.
I know.
You can go into the, I don't know, scam baiters. You could go into, I don't know, Black Lives Matter. There's all sorts of groups that you could reach in and just go right into a new community. Don't you have any plans? Don't you have any dreams of?
You know what? He just squashed them. I mean, he's just usually, he tells the truth all the time, and when he said that, then that's it. That's squashed. No, I just I find it hysterical. I thanks for making light of it, Teresa. I needed to laugh, and I have laughed through all of this. I made two my name made 2 headlines, and I told somebody I'm going to play the lottery today with 2 fine, upstanding gentlemen. My name made headlines, so
it's exciting, PT. After a while, it almost gets to be challenging to see if you can, get them to trigger and react and make a stupid post or something. It just, when you wake up to it and it's there, you're like, ha. Free.
Yeah, I did retaliate, and I put up something in my community page, and it stayed up for maybe 15 minutes, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna go that route, and I took it down. So
I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah,
I've taken that route. If anybody wants to go through my larger channel, because Teresa R is my larger channel, and there's lots of good things on my community page there that you'll probably get a kick out of, or not. I don't know. Usually in response to some other community post.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware that anybody had the power to excommunicate Peachy from anything.
He thinks he has the power.
Well, he is the self-appointed leader, so
yeah, he is.
I mean, there's that. That's
well,
important.
Everybody has a right to have their own fantasy.
And what about you, Nevaeh? I heard that you have completed the purchase, or I don't know, have you guys closed on the YouTube channel of Emos between you, and didn't you buy it from Gary Snowflake for $8,000? Or how much was it? Or maybe I shouldn't ask. I'm sorry. That's probably rude.
That's okay. The channel has changed hands so many times. We're really not clear on actually who owns it now.
I wonder who owns the mineral rights. Maybe there's oil.
I don't know. But it was kind of comical because I counted this morning. I think I got up to 7 or 8 people who actually have claims to it now. Except I did see a post of the title of Emo's channel today. I had to laugh because it named a lot of people and nobody owns my channel. And we all need to go F ourselves. So yeah, it's all good. It's good fun.
I saw your name in the title today of the marathon stream, and and a few other people's names, and about how, I don't know, it said something about nobody was getting that effing channel.
Rada says it's under new ownership. Who is it? Who is it today, Rada? Who's the owner today? Masshole. Masshole got it from Gary. Supposedly, I bought shares from Masshole, and Cindy bought shares from Masshole, and Andrew bought shares from Gary, and Teresa bought shares from somebody. How many am I up to now?
Gosh golly. We
It's all
really
good.
should probably go public with this.
I know. A
Yeah,
lot of
put it on.
shareholders. Hopefully, we all get to make some sort of profit out of it.
What's that thing called? The Dow Jones? Is that what it's called? No. What's that stock market thing? I can't think of the name of it. Now, yeah, let's go with is it the NASDAQ?
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, I see. I saw Golden was here. Thanks for stopping by, Golden. Nice to see you.
Oh, is she gonna come up?
She passed her exam with flying colors. Why don't you come tell us about it, Golden?
Oh, she's
Yeah.
out tonight. It's Friday.
Oh, she's
Friday night.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun.
I don't know if
Anyway,
she's out. She is.
you guys been well, I was going to say we talk about some, I guess, ladies' issues tonight, and I got a question for the panel. And let me just read this question so that I don't get it mixed up. Who is or who was your role model growing up, as far as women go? Did you have a female role model when you were growing up?
I did not.
How about you, Peachy?
I did later on in my high school years and college years with a teacher, and she's just wonderful. And then when I got into education, I made sure that I took every continuing education class through her, and yeah, and she's retired now, and she travels the world. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
she's a really cool lady. Her husband was a pharmacist up the street from where I grew up, and just got really close with their family. So her name's Brenda, Miss Brenda, and she I went through uh, a lot of swim classes with her because I had my uh, water safety instructor license through the American Red Cross, and she does all that, and so she's just a really really great lady.
So I was more of a tomboy. So I was more into stuff like survival things, and usually women didn't do that. So yeah, there's not one there.
So
And
Nevaeh,
of course my mom. I want to say my mom. I should have said her first. My mom.
did you have I mean, who were your role models, Nevaeh, when you were growing up?
Oh, anybody that did mountain climbing, bushcraft, survival skills. I didn't have one set person.
And what about you, Teresa?
Yeah, I think for me, I had a lot of strong female role models in my life. My mom's a very strong lady. She's a real hard worker, and she's real good with money and managing time and businesses, and she's just a real smart lady. And my father's mother, my grandmother, also was a really hardworking lady. Never. She never had. Neither my mom nor my grandmother were like confined to women's roles. They would go out and work outside. And, for my grandmother, they had a farm, and she'd go out there and plow the fields and do the same things that he would do. She got up every morning and milked the cow, and it's a long time ago. But she's a real strong lady. She never did have a place in the home. She did, you name it, she did it. And my mom's pretty much the same way. with the exception of maybe working on cars and that kind of guy stuff. But, my dad wasn't too much of a car worker owner either. Hi, Cindy. Welcome.
Hi,
How
how
are
are
you
you
doing?
guys? I'm okay.
Hello, Cindy. Good to see you.
I'm doing good.
Is Cindy gonna come up?
How are you all?
Do you see her? She's on the panel, Peachy.
Can you see me,
Oh, I
Peachy?
see her now. I'm sorry.
I'm a,
I'm sorry. Hi,
I'm,
Cindy.
I'm Little Blue Flowers.
Oh, I can't hear her. Okay.
So
Cindy,
just a quick
do you
message
want to tell us?
for anyone in the
What?
chat, real quick. For anyone in the chat who wants to ask questions, if you would do it in capital letters. I'm watching you, so I'll make sure that your question gets addressed.
Can you hear me now, Peachy?
Okay. Sound check. Cindy.
Can you hear me now, Peachy?
Nope. El Sancho, I'll be back. I apologize.
Cindy?
Yes.
Did you have a female role model growing up?
Yeah, I had a friend of my mom's named Nancy. Just a wonderful older lady that she just, well, we also went to church with her, but she was also a friend of my mom's, and she was just one of those ladies that she would help you with everything. But she took like all the little kids and the teenage girls, and she wanted to teach them all of the what she called girl things that girls need to know. Because she was an older lady, and she wanted to let them know all the girl things that you needed to know. And she was just the sweetest lady you ever met. But she wanted to make sure that you knew going out in the world all the girl stuff, she called it.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And it was just, she was just a sweet lady.
My mom's a real, she's a real giving person. She kind of leads a life of service. She's real religious, and she, she's always at church when it's open. And like I said, she's a hard worker, so if she's not at church, she's working. But, that's kind of how I grew up. And then I don't know now, and I think in my later years, I was going to say, talk about women that we admire. I really admire my mother and my grandmother. But as far as women in history overall that I admire, I was going to say that I really admire Ruth Ginsburg. Have you guys ever seen any of the, I don't know, any of the history or researched any of her history or what have you, and how she led up to being a part of the, SCOTUS of the Supreme Court?
No.
No.
Yeah, she was an attorney, and she actually was in a class in Harvard. Maybe it was the second class that allowed women, and she was one of 9 other women. And she went to school there until I think maybe her senior year, until 1 year before she finished law school. And she was married, and her husband transferred to New York, so she transferred over there. But she ended up, with the major accomplishments at Harvard, and then again at, I think it was Columbia that she actually graduated from. And she went on to teach the very first sexual harassment sort of type classes in law school. And law schools, she wrote the original textbook for the class, and then went on to fight several Supreme Court cases or write briefs for a couple of them, and then actually provide oral arguments for several Supreme Court cases that allowed, more equality for, I guess, women, overall. So she's done a lot of work for us, and I don't know how people feel about her now, because she's a very liberal judge, and some people, might think that she's more liberal on the bench than they would like, but I have a lot of respect for her. How about y'all? Who do you guys have any person out there that you really admire?
I'm gonna have to look into that. That's something I'd like to look into.
Oh, Cindy, you should. There's a documentary of. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a movie. I don't even remember. I think there's a documentary and a movie. I think I watched them both, but one of them's called RBG. Maybe that's the movie. I'm not really sure. Maybe the movie is called something else. Anyway, they're on. I think they're on Amazon Prime. Maybe on Netflix too. I don't know about that, but you could find them there. But they're really both really good, interesting. The documentary was really good. I don't remember it being super super long. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was like 5 episodes or something. And maybe the movie was too. Maybe it was like a docu-series. I don't remember, but it was good.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I watch a lot of, I watch a lot of movies and that kind of, I like to watch documentaries a lot. They help me fall asleep at night. How about you, Peachy?
I'm laughing at that because I find a really boring panel sometimes to fall asleep to.
I listen to panels to fall asleep a lot now, too.
Yeah.
There are certain ones that will put me to sleep.
Yeah,
Oh, not this one.
they don't have to be boring. It's just, I just take a deep breath and not worry about being on panel or being in chat. But let's see, with me, Amelia Earhart, um, I've really admired her. She died young, and she was just a very brave lady. She was the first pilot who flew solo, I think, female pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic. I just thought, I've read many. She's written books. I've read other books that's written um, about her, and so she's a very brave lady. And one more lady I want to mention, and I know Wilma's going to love me for this. She may not be in the chat. Is Betty White.
Oh, yeah, she's an awesome lady, very
she,
hardworking lady.
she
Funny.
is. Yeah, she is. And I have to say, if Amelia Earhart was alive, she'd be, I think, 115 today, around there. And Betty White is what, 98, I believe. But
I hope Betty White lives forever.
oh, she's just awesome.
She's wonderful.
She is. I think she's been in the television industry for like 80 years. I mean, she was like one of the first, I think, ladies to come up with a sitcom. I mean, she's just a huge icon in television. Her humor. I don't think she was much of a feminist, but she played one. I think on TV, maybe Golden Girls. I can't name any other TV series with it that she played in that role. But yeah, I love Betty White.
She's a really good choice. I like her a lot too.
And she loves wildlife and animals, and I think that I think
I
she
forgot she is a big animal activist.
yes, she is. And her family moved to California, I think, in the 20s maybe, and she got into television or maybe into radio. I think she got her start in the 20s and 30s, and right out of high school. And I think that she really wanted to become a forest ranger, but luckily for all of us, they did not allow women at that time to become a ranger. you know so we got to, we've been enjoying her for so very long.
Mary Tyler Moore was very saucy. I see that in the comment section. Do you ladies have anything you want to talk about? Cindy Renee, were you involved in the purchase of Emo's channel, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, I've been accused of so much of Emo the last few days. I've been accused of purchasing the channel. I've been accused of wanting him dead, which that I don't like. I'm very almost angry that my name was used in that, because suicide is a very touchy subject with me. So using my name and wanting to hurt somebody made me angry. Because suicide's a very touchy subject with me. Our neighbor growing up, hung himself out in the front yard. So
Oh no.
That's
he used
terrible.
the front tree and hung himself. And
Okay.
he left the note in his front pocket, and he purposely did it so everyone could see. It was just disgusting. It was just awful. So, but I've been accused of all kinds of stuff with emo, but she's just been so off her rocker. Oh well, whatever. But
Well,
I
Cindy,
don't.
I was surprised because you've taken a lot the last day or so from over there, and I
I
have to
mean,
confess that I have been just I had to go run errands and stuff today, but the 2 days before I was just enthralled with the drama. I'm ashamed to say it. I think I watched too much of it, and I've just been like, oh my gosh, the stuff that's come out of their mouths. I've just been sort of shocked by the whole thing.
What?
But I have seen you take a lot of blows over there.
I've
For
been
as
getting
nice as
away.
you are, sister, they've been accusing you of some stuff.
What
They
what
have.
started that, Cindy?
I've gotten it. Yeah, was it this morning or last night? She's gonna run me over with a school bus. And I'm
Oh
like,
Lord,
So that was
who
basically,
would run Cindy Renee over with the school bus?
she'll run me over with a school bus.
so that
And
was, that all came out of an epic troll from about a week ago where Lady Di, some people entered her chat while she was live streaming and cooked up this story with Cindy Renee and I and Navin and Andrew, and Shiva was thrown into the mix
it
in a
all
very
came
small way.
it all came out of Dirty Cop 1964. So whoever that person is, I hope. Never mind. I'll have to repent. Never mind. I'm not going to say what I think. Whoever
So,
Dirty Cop is, thank you. You've made my week quite not very good.
I mean, both your name and mine were brought into that mix, and it was an epic troll. I have to admit, it was an epic troll because the aftermath of it still continues.
It's epic if you think it's good. It might have been epic on Lady Di. I don't find it epic.
I don't think
Okay.
Cindy finds it quite as epic.
I don't think I find it quite as epic as everybody else did. If you're
What's
not
that?
Cindy Renee,
What's the name of that troll account? Bad Cop. What was it called?
Dirty
Next
Cop,
Dirty Cop. Dirty
like
Cop. You need to
19.
clear Cindy's name. Dirty
No,
Cop, if you're out there.
I
And-
got like Dirty Cop 1964 something. Then I got some weirdo Bright 77. I think it is. He's almost like a stalker. And I said, I'm about leaving YouTube. These people are driving me crazy. I got one stalker and one's trying to smear me. And this one stalker, I took all my videos down. There's nothing on my page because Bright kept writing all kinds of weird stuff under every video. So there's not a bloody thing on my page.
They are. I'll tell you, I've gotten some. I was looking through my emails the other day. I've gotten some crazy emails over the last, year and a half or so from people that say, they're watching me and that they saw me in Dallas and that they're reporting me to the FBI and all kind of crazy stuff. I get all kind of crazy stuff, Cindy, on my page. People are, they're going to have me arrested. They're going to this. I threatened to burn people's house. Just all kind. They come up with all kind of stuff.
Ooh, I have an update.
Give us an update. The purchase is complete. Did you end up buying Emo's channel?
Are you the owner?
Community? Did you buy your way back?
No, not yet.
If you're the owner, put a disclaimer up. Cindy Renee is not as bad as they say she is.
Cindy owns no stock.
Okay, Hot Dog Boy, aka Frank Hassel, Hot Dog Boy, he is banned from YouTube.
Nuh-uh.
Yes,
How did that
yes.
come about?
We
What's
should play
that?
the song "Another One Bites the Dust."
How did that come about, Peachy? Do you know?
What's that?
How did that come about?
Oh, if you've seen any of his videos, he's a professional instigator. He is a horrible, horrible person. I would class him up close to. He might be worse than Rick Rude. I would have to say. No, I don't. I don't know. I know that he had been talking about it for a few times last 2, 3, 4 months about people are after him, and I'm glad in my opinion he's a horrible person. So he will take his stick to another platform. So I'm glad, and the comments have stopped. The trolling comments have stopped on my videos the past 3 days anyway.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Put a bigger
Well,
filter
that's
on. Just
good.
set the filter higher, and they'll send them all to your filtered messages. If they're creepy or if the wording is creepy or whatever, it'll get filtered, and you can kind of go through it and decide what you want to keep and what you don't. If you're having that much issues with it.
His name wouldn't happen to be Dirty Cop, would it?
I don't.
maybe another account is Dirty Cop.
Uh,
Well, I heard that. Well, obviously the excommunication that you received was because someone was spying on not on our Discord, but on the Masshole Discord server, which is a public server, pretty much. I think that the invite is on their page and stuff, so I think everybody's pretty much welcome. Not really sure why people need to spy.
Well, who was it that said? I heard somebody said they have a spy.
Oh, they all say they have a spy. I have a spy in Discord. It's their ass. They don't have a spy. They're in there. They're in there all by themselves under a sock because they're too scared to just use their name. Come on.
I'm not even on Discord.
I know you're not, Cindy. Cindy's not on Discord. She's not a part of the ownership of the emo channel. I'm going to disclaim it right now.
No.
Yeah, I
And
think
that cop
really
needs to clear your name.
well, I actually don't have any interest in that channel either. I don't go to that channel. Well, I did today. I have to call my back stuff on that. I did go today because Steve Pender was on there today, and he admitted he has no proof on who that was that swatted him, and that he could match that voice to several different people. So it was good to hear it out of his own mouth.
Who is Steve Pender?
Yeah, who is Steve Pender? That's a good question.
Who is Steve Pender? Peachy, would you like to tell us, or do y'all want me to?
I have no idea who he is. I just saw him on a video somebody had made, and I just recently, last couple of days, subbed to him. So you can enlighten me.
Well, Steve Pender is this really cool guy that's in, I think he's in Texas somewhere, let me just say that. And he does a little thing he's got a channel, I think it's called Steve Pender or something. He does some live streams every so often, and he builds guitars, and I guess he's kind of knows the community. I don't really remember how he knows the community. Maybe he's been a supporter over the years, what have you. But he was doing a live stream, and he does a lot of live streams on other things besides auditing for sure, but he does other live streams, and he was doing a live panel on something, and someone sent the police over to his house, I guess, and had him swatted. So they pulled the audio from the 911 call, and he actually posted the audio on his channel, and I guess people heard it, and the voices, it sounds like it could be a whole bunch of people, but I can see where people might think that it might sound a little like Bieber, but I couldn't tell. I listened to it and I couldn't tell, and I'd be the first one to tell you if it was Bieber. If I thought it was him, I'd tell you.
Okay, was he really swatted, or was the cops called on him?
It was a real SWAT. They came up in full gear.
I want to say they even went into his house. I'm not sure.
Well, his garage door was open where
That's right. That's right.
he was
So,
streaming from when it happened.
so he had the whole 9 yards. He had
Pretty
like
much.
several people in the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Pretty much,
But
yeah. Now
what
it was
was
on
the
a live
reason?
stream.
What was the reason for the call?
I don't, I would play, and I'll send you a copy of the audio when we get back to Discord. But it was like the call was just somebody sort of mumbling. I don't know, something like, I don't even remember what they were saying, but they were saying some just mumbling, maybe that they had
See,
some hostage or something, and so you couldn't really tell what they were even saying.
now
That-
didn't.
Go ahead,
Excuse me. Go
Samantha.
ahead. That one phone call of Emo's, it sounded like Beaver too. Now,
Well,
is this guy so ignorant? I'm sorry, Mom will say it, so Lord forgive me. Is this guy so ignorant that he doesn't understand that when you call the cops on somebody, that cops, there's some good and some bad. We all know that. I'm not a cop hater and I'm not a cop lover. They're just some good and some bad. But when you call the cops on somebody and the cops do not know what they're coming into, there's a chance that person that the cops just are coming to can get shot.
okay, so to be fair, Cindy, Beaver admitted to calling one time, and it was a justified welfare call because Emo was talking about committing suicide. The chat was very adamant that he had taken a bunch of pills. He said he didn't feel well. The police department's number was in there, and his town and his some other things were included from the chat. So Beaver took it on himself to make that welfare check on him. It wasn't a swatting. Please understand the difference. A welfare check because he had actually been talking about committing suicide. So that was only one time, and he admitted to that one time. He did not do the other calls that were on Emo, the welfare checks, and he didn't do the call on Steve Pinder.
Well, now, the Steve Pinder call has been, quite some time back. I want to say several months. I don't remember exactly when, but it seems like it was still cold. If you know what I mean. It's been a while.
It was about a year ago, but if anybody watched any part of Emo's stream today, Steve Pinder was on the stream, and he did admit that he could not discern who called based upon.
Yeah, he had told me that before.
Yeah, and he said he could match that voice to even 3 or more people, so he couldn't even.
But
He couldn't
you
even.
just have to be careful making these phone calls.
Okay, so he couldn't present proof that it was Calvin, and he wasn't about to say that it was. He came out and admitted that today on live stream.
Yeah, and he's told me that before. That's why I was wondering, because I had never heard him say, I know who, I've never heard him say that. And maybe he did, but I've never heard him say it. And I remember when it happened. I mean, he was in Discord with us and he talked to us about it. I mean, I heard his story straight from his mouth about the whole thing and the 911 call and, who he thought it might be. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but he was, he didn't know. He wasn't sure.
He also made the comment that if he had been trolled, like Calvin has been trolled, he would be defensive too. So he's justifying Calvin's defensive behavior and all of this that's come up recently because he said he would respond the same way.
Oh, well, I mean, somebody accuses you of something you didn't do, the first thing you're going to do is try to defend yourself. So I don't know that that's a sign of guilt at any rate, if you know what I mean. I mean, I've been accused of some things and there's some things that I've been accused of that really irritate me too. And I will, I've become very defensive, when it comes to my children and things like that. Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't?
You haven't been accused of nothing.
What was that?
I said, you haven't been accused of nothing.
No,
not you, Teresa.
That means she's been accused of something because that's a double negative.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised I'm not a part of this purchase with the emo channel.
Oh,
I
just
can
give it
cut
time.
you in. I'll call Dirty Cop and we'll cut you in on the deal.
No, no, no. Emo made a video about me one time, and that was fine with that. It was pretty mild. So he got upset with me one time when I made a comment in Discord for some reason. I don't even remember what it was. It was something, minor, but I said something to him about it. I don't remember. I mean, I was kind of snarky with him, and then he made a video about me, and I was like, "Oh Lord."
So Teresa, let's talk about something real quick I want to address. What's the difference between lying and trolling? And aren't they hand in hand?
Well, what's the difference between lying and trolling? I don't know that you necessarily have to be a liar to be a troll. But I suppose that some trolls are liars. Just like some people that don't consider themselves trolls are liars, if you know what I mean.
So would you say, after watching a lot of stuff that goes on in some chats, that they are actually lying while they're trolling?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I know that's what I.
Everyone, a lot of people lie. That's why I try not to quote White Knight for really anyone, because I don't know 100% about anything except for me. That's the thing. I mean, I just try not to put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak, with people, because I don't, you can say, oh, this person didn't do this, or this person didn't do that, or this person's lying. Well, how does one really even know? I mean, there's some proof that people are liars. I'm not saying that. There's proof like bitch um like bitch tits. I hate to say that name, but it's true. We know that he is a liar, and that's a fact.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But pranking, when you're telling a story, basically pranking, trolling, whatever you want to call it, it tends to be not true. What it's designed to do is make you think something, and it usually does make you think that, because some people are easily pulled into that type of sort of. I'm just going to call it pranking, and I've seen a lot of it. Would I call those people liars that are pranking or trolling? I would say they're very good at what they do, because they certainly pulled Lady Diana last week into this huge
But
complicated
now,
story.
Nevaeh,
Yeah.
last weekend, a lot of those stopped trolling and they went straight into lying. They were saying stuff that they left trolling and went straight up lying. They were saying, when they said, okay, Cindy said she wants Emo to hurt himself. That was a straight up lie.
Oh
That was
yeah.
not a troll.
Well, they were actually trolling, because they made up a story to pull her into a story to make it believable to her.
When you start making certain statements that are straight up lies, you get past trolling at some point when you're making up stories that are straight up lies.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't agree with that, especially if it's gonna provoke really bad feelings with someone, or hurt someone. I absolutely do not agree with that. I mean, it
Well,
happens all the time, but
yeah. So
I would never do it.
Yeah, Cindy and I were both put into that story. And I explained to her at the time, no, they don't really feel that way about you. They are trolling her. Um, because she was wondering, do they really feel that way about me, what they're saying? I said, no, they're just trolling her. So trolling for nefarious reasons can be a serious thing. And it did get to the point where it was quite sad in this particular instance, because the story got so serious. But when you're trolling somebody, just putting something out there and saying, I'm going to do this, and get people to believe that's what you're doing, but it's not really hurting anybody, that's basically a troll on you. But I agree with Cindy in that the story that got way out of hand in
Hang
that
on,
particular instance.
hang on.
Yeah.
Landley, calm down, Landley. Calm down.
That
Don't
got
get
way
triggered.
got way out of hand in that instance. It did kind of put us in a light where we were wishing harm on somebody, which we never did, right? And so a lot of questions came out of it. A lot of people did understand that it was trolling, but it did get onto a serious note and pretty nefarious. So there's got to be a line that's drawn somewhere, and I can't say where that is, but just be careful about who you might be harming when you're doing your trolling, and try to be a good troll, not a nasty troll.
Well, my
Well,
apologies because I think I
Teresa,
perpetuated the rumor that Nevaeh bought the channel yesterday or whenever it was. I watched the whole day long, but I didn't hear about Cindy till today.
Oh, it's been going on for days.
it's
I'm
been
sorry.
going on for a week. Teresa, Naaman said there's a black hat troll and a white hat troll. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Is that like a good troll and a bad troll?
I guess the one that would wear the black hat would be the bad guy, and maybe it's, and even I guess
That's just racist now.
there look, I don't even know how to justify it, but I'll tell you, and I've been on the internet here with people trolling me really hard for the last 2 years or so, and I just have learned that that's what people do. They just troll each other. So you can't believe anything you read in the chat, and you can't believe, and then sometimes these little trolls will just get blown up out of proportion, and it seems like the best thing that you can do to handle it is just not give a shit, just not care about it. It's because they just move on to something else,
That's so true, Teresa. What I too was thinking about the picture that was put on the community page by Bitch Tits. I deserve everything I get. If I put it out there and it's negative, then that's why my reaction was like, man, I can't believe you did that. And I immediately, and I had pictures ready. I immediately did a page with him, and I thought, crap, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be. But because I thought, hell, if I put it out there and it's negative, which it is negative, it's meant to be funny, but I just kind of deserve what I got. I guess is the way I looked at it.
The way I see my Photoshops, and I do a lot of Photoshops, is that's my way of expressing myself and how I might feel about someone, and that's my freedom of speech. That's my First Amendment to be able to do that. And as long as I try to keep it funny, there are some times when I've been really angry and I probably made some mean Photoshops, but for the most part, I really try to find humor, in it. If poor Caroline, she fussed at me one night, and the very first night I think I ever talked to her in a chat, and she fussed at me, and just in my mind, it just popped in that, Joan Crawford, was it Joan Crawford that was Mommy Dearest? Just popped into my head, and I had to Photoshop her face on Joan Crawford, poor thing.
So I'm still waiting for you to do the Mogwai to Gremlin transition.
We have to get Zebra Bone. We have to get Vital Organ to do the transitions on the face morph.
Taryn said trolling makes things interesting.
It's got us all mesmerized on these crazy panel streams they've been having. What is it, like a marathon thing? Yesterday I watched maybe a video of them yesterday, and they just looked exhausted. They just looked so tired, like they had just been going for just too long. They needed some rest.
They need to sleep.
Yeah, they've been going for days and days and days, for hours and hours and hours on end.
It was this Emo and Lady Di?
Yeah.
But did you guys hear what was the thing? Did you guys hear what happened with Mike the other day? I can't even remember the guy's name.
Mike
like the one that makes coffee in his bathroom.
Mike.
Yeah.
Isn't it Mike Taylor that goes
Mike
to?
Taylor.
He apparently he apparently was on a panel with Betty, and he started talking about some charges, not charges. I don't know that he was ever charged with anything, but he started talking about
Accusation.
some accusations, and yeah. And she kind of caught on to some things, I guess, that he said that maybe didn't make sense to her, and she kind of questioned it, and he just went bananas. I mean, he just went off on her. And that went on for a little while too, because I mean, the way he was talking to her, I just thought, geez, Louise.
Yeah,
And
and
I think what bothered me the most about it is that he went on to one of the maybe both of the Polly and News New England's panels. I don't remember if it was both or just one or the other. I don't remember, but just went on there and they just let him cuss her like a dog.
yeah, it did carry over from Beanie's stream onto the other two. And yes, when you go to a channel that's having a stream that are all misogynist on the panel, it's not a good idea for a woman to get up on that panel because she's going to be abused. And none of them are going to stop each other from doing it, which is part of the topic tonight, by the way, about how women are treated and how other men allow that to happen. And
yeah, and this was a very good example.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for that. I'm going to be quiet now.
No, I mean, I was really offended by the whole thing, and I even went on the panel for just a few minutes because they started accusing the people in Discord of somewhat manufacturing the assault. So, her asking that question was all of the people from Discord going in there to stir things up. It was all our fault that he went off on this woman. Somehow, some way, they turned it around and blamed it on her and Discord, but not Mike. Not Mike. Mike was led to it, and I just thought, how retarded. Sorry to use that word, but that's just disgusting that they would, for his behavior, and then try to twist it and blame it on us,
Well, News New England's really good at that. Oh, well, it was a setup. How can it be a setup? I saw part of that in Benny E stream. He loves to do that. Oh, it was well thought out plan. No, that's how he operates, and that's how bitch tits operate. Most people don't operate like that.
NNE seems to be so challenged by me and such a coward that I'm not even allowed to type in his chat.
Yeah, he was saying today, I was in his room, and he was saying today that I guess in Discord, you almost play out what you're going to do in the next chat you go into.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's it. What they were talking about, a blackout, because we were talking about not watching them. I don't know, a week or so ago. We were like, God, just stop watching them. We're just not even going to watch them. So we didn't. We didn't watch them for a few days, and I kind of watched, on the suggested videos. The number of people watching went way down, and then of course there was the whole Betty incident. We all went back over there to chew them out about it, So,
Polly,
isn't that also when she asked Mike about Sarah?
Oh yeah, well that's what she led in with. She kind of led in with that, and he offered a weird sort of explanation, but I don't think we give Sarah enough credit. I don't think we give her enough credit for, I mean, I get that this guy is, I understand who he is, but, she's not a stupid girl.
A lot of people don't know Sarah's been married before.
She made it very clear that she's a grown woman and she gets to make up her own mind. And no matter how much we have concern for her in the situation, it's really none of our business to interfere.
Well, I don't think, maybe for a quick second, maybe because we're concerned. But after that, let her have fun. Let her be happy. Let her flirt. She is. I agree with Teresa. We don't give her enough credit. Yeah, she may have some intellectual disabilities, but we certainly do not give her enough credit, in my opinion.
And if she's smitten with him, I mean, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah,
The
let her be
heart wants what the
smitten.
heart wants.
Yeah, let her
know,
be.
We
Let her
just
be
have
I
to,
know what kind of a person he is, but she's a smart girl. She'll figure it out. She figured it out with her
and
husband, and she'll figure it out with this guy.
Let her have her
and
fun.
if
Yeah,
he breaks her
exactly.
heart, we just have to be there to hug her when he breaks, or if he breaks her heart, we just have to be there to hug her when she needs it.
Well,
I
her
mean,
complaint is I can just say this. Her complaint is, and I heard her say it out of her own mouth, is that people keep bringing it up to her, and she doesn't want people to keep bringing it up to her. She knows. So just let her have her fun. She doesn't want people to keep bringing it up to her. It upsets her.
She's tired of hearing about it.
well, since the beginning of time, women and women are drawn to bad boys. you know, um, you know that's how I look at it. I think it's innocent flirting, and let her have fun.
Well, I certainly think she could do way better. But yeah, she's a smart girl. I
It's
don't think
just it's just
she'll figure it
internet
out.
flirting. They live far apart. Yeah, come on.
Of
Exactly.
course,
Yeah.
of course. Just so she doesn't send him money. If she starts sending him money, I'm gonna be mad. Just kidding. It's her money. She can do whatever she wants with it. Whatever. My little granddaughter went shopping today and bought some little $18 figurine. It's 3 inches high. It was $18.50. I was like, oh my God, they really played these kids.
I was going to say, Mike he seems to be very, very private. It's been the last month and a half that he's kind of coming out of his shell, and he's talking more freely and things like that, which is good. But I have to give him props to this day for picking me up in Atlanta. Mike's never done anything to me, and I've seen
Oh
the back.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. How was that?
Yeah, it was great, Teresa. Shoot, I'm forgetting her. Somebody, I'm forgetting her name. Where I spent the night. Shame on me. She's got a channel. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting her. I'm forgetting her name, but she had called me when I was in Atlanta. My first night, she called me a Uber, and no one was coming to that area. And I had been waiting, and Mike was online, and he was about 35, 40 minutes away, and it was going to be, let's see who's going to get to me first. And I said, well, if there's an Uber call, there's no reason for you to come. But it was a good thing that he did come, because the Uber, they weren't going anywhere near that where I was. So yeah, it was great, Teresa. He picked me up, and maybe somebody in the chat. I'm not looking at chat. He picked me up and took me to another YouTube friend's house, and I spent the night. So, but he was very quiet,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until yesterday. Maybe somebody mentioned it. I mean, just in the last day or so that I had heard that. That was really nice of him. I had no idea.
Yeah, he said that he really wanted to do something. That was his way to do something for this, YouTube community. His way that he put it. That it was something that he could do.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. So, and I'm very appreciative to this day for him doing that.
Well, at least you didn't make him mad. No, I'm joking. Betty made him mad.
Hey, he showed up.
Fired up.
He showed up in a really nice vehicle with spinning wheel rims and everything. It was pretty cool. I was very happy. Matter of fact, I thought somebody was catcalling me because I look around and people are yelling this or yelling that or whistling or whatever, and I turned and I thought, oh, somebody's just catcalling again, and no, it was Mike at the intersection. So I was very happy to see him.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
No kidding. I forgot all about you because you got tied up there for a little while, huh?
Rada said, "Tell us the time Josh saved you." Josh has never saved me. You know, he when I went through all this in Atlanta, and when I got arrested, and I didn't see one dime for whatever money he was raising for me. And matter of fact, he called me when I got out. He called me. He told me I should go home. he said it's too dangerous. You should go home. So whatever. We all know he's a knucklehead.
What did they do with your arrest?
I got to go to court September the 14th, I think. I haven't received any paperwork from that, but I have a court date.
Whatever happened to the pretend cop that got charged?
He has not gone to court yet.
Is that the guy that was following you around? Your troll? Your real life troll? That guy?
No, not a hot dog boy. This was the man. And I'm sorry for my voice, guys. This was the man at the park at Amiclola State Park. That
Oh, I remember that guy. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that
he
guy
said
with
that he
fish.
was a police officer. He said his name, and I am a sheriff or whatever, a police officer, which was a lie. So yeah, it was because I was filming. I was getting ready for a hike, and his father, I think it was his father, did something I didn't like with the fish. And I was already sitting down having lunch and just filming. And when he put those fish into a plastic bag, and it was right beside me, and they were flopping around in this plastic bag, suffocating. I don't know. It wasn't about the fish, and it wasn't about the bag. It was about overreaction with this man that physically attacked me, tried to take my phone and scratch me, and said that he was a cop, but he ended up being fired. He was not an active cop.
He was an ex-cop.
There you go. He was an ex-cop, and he was cuffed and stuffed. So the police were wonderful when they showed up. I'd asked for a supervisor because if he were a cop, I didn't want him to get special treatment because he was laughing with these cops and carrying on and blah blah. And I was just sitting back filming, and I asked for a supervisor, and I felt bad because the supervisor came from, he might have been maybe 45 minutes away, and they're like, "Are you sure you want a supervisor?" And I said yes. But they were the cops. They just did an excellent job. They really did.
What was he charged with?
Impersonating a cop and the other
Did he
charge.
get an assault charge
Yeah, he got an assault charge.
or a battery charge?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
battery.
I have to ask, what bugged you about the fish?
I've never seen. I don't like animal cruelty. I love animals, and when I've been fishing with people, or I grew up with my granddad fishing, that they would always put them on a line and keep them in the water or whatever. I don't know what the most humane way is to kill a fish. What got me was he just put these fish in like a grocery plastic bag and tied a knot in it and went back to fishing. And they were flopping around. I guess it seemed to be a little bit cruel in my eyes. And I know they're just fish, but and I had, I told them to wave at social media and all this and that, and and people in the chat just said, "Peachy, walk away," and I did. I packed up and I walked away. But then the son came after me. So I guess he got mad and said I couldn't post, I couldn't take their pictures, and I couldn't post it on social media and blah blah blah. So it really wasn't about the fish. It was more about the, I guess me filming it.
Yeah, they got a little wound up, I thought, too. I don't know. It just kind of went sour. But,
It did go
they shouldn't have
south
touched you.
pretty fast.
They
Well,
shouldn't have touched you either way.
no,
I
I
mean,
mean,
they have to control themselves. They could have walked away also. They
they
could have
could have
walked
walked
away.
away. Yeah, I did walk away, and I did point the camera at them before I walked away. At the same time, he I mean, for what I did compared to what he lying about being a officer and 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 being violent towards me, there was just no call for that. And I felt really bad if that was his wife. I really felt bad for her because she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, not again," kind of thing with him.
Real quick, getting back to that stream the other night and this whole misogynistic thing, and I guess we've kind of just beat this dog to death, but and I don't know that I feel like I have proved my point again and again with how differently they, this the whole thing with the mic issue, and I'm not trying to down Mike as much as I was since I found out that he brought Peachy home or he picked her up. But that was a really nice thing. But still, not just Mike. Mike went off, and that was a really mean thing. But he's not the only one that's done that on that panel before. And it just because when I watched that the other day, they were like, well, you know they were like, well, she shouldn't have said anything. And then I was like, well, isn't it fair game? Because, he brought it up. Isn't that the rule? Isn't that the rule you guys made last time? Whenever you bashed another, when you bashed a woman, that was the rule. She brought it up, so you can just go right into just bashing her. But if he brings it up, it's different, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, or if you guys have seen some of that going on. And I don't know if you guys get treated like that in any other panels or with any other people. I'm kind of curious. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. Of course, you got your Potato Lou, and there's some of them out there. But I mean, there's like a whole group of them there.
I think on some channels it happens more often than on many others. And I also think there's some men in the genre of this group of people actually go out of their way to, say, for instance, make videos about different people, and they'll pick on the women just as well. I've had a couple of videos made about me this week. I'm kind of proud. I've joined the club. But yeah, it does happen in some channels more than others. I don't tend to go there, but I do hear a lot of chatter about it, and I read a lot of chatter about it.
How about you, Cindy? Because you're in a lot of panels with a lot of different people. Is that something that you? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
there's a few of them, but
I just now started going to Paulie's and NNE. So I've heard that goes on there, but I just started going, so I don't know really what goes on there. But yeah, I've seen it where they shut you down pretty fast. There's one I'm not going to say because some of the people are in here. They're pretty quick at hitting your mic off. They really don't want, they really don't want you talking. They won't put you they won't put you down in the back, but they'll hit your mic pretty quick. So yeah, it does happen quite a bit.
I find that there's stereotypes. So when the women have a lot to say, oh well, you talk too much and you're all about drama and blah blah blah. But what maybe I'll make a video about this or that, or he said he's going to sue me and he's a fucking liar and blah blah blah. But men. Look at all these men that are going. How long has this emo thing been going on? How long? How many shows are about certain people every freaking day? I think there's stereotypes. Just like women are bad drivers. Women talk too much. Women are bad drivers. Blah blah blah. But men, they can do all that.
That's true. And we're not bad drivers.
That's it. They want to say women cause all the drama. Well, all of this stuff where people are restreaming emo is being restreamed by men.
That's true. That's
Go
true. None of
find
us
me a
ladies are
woman.
restreaming them.
Go find me a woman's channel who's restreaming emo.
That's right.
Ooh, I could touch on that. I haven't been streaming. I could start doing that and be the first one.
Yeah. Women cause all the drama, but there's not a woman out there that's restreaming. It's all the men that are restreaming.
One of the first things I think, I'm going to answer Sancho. One of the first things I think that I have seen, and like I said, I've been following this for a long time, but one of the first things that they will do to attack men, is to call them a predator, or, that, boy, if you can call somebody a sexual predator, and then if you can find a record on them, that's a whole different story. But I have seen lots. I have a really good friend on Discord who was that was labeled that, and I don't think he was really too bothered by it, except that it. I mean, this is almost like the first thing people will go to. There's nothing else, so let's call him a predator or whatever. Like with me, if nothing else, let's say she murdered her kids and threatened to burn my house down and pointed a gun. Just make up some crazy stuff, and hey, if you think I murdered somebody, or if you think somebody's a child molester or something, I'm all about pull the records. Let's find out what's going on there. If I'm going to work with these people and they're if I'm going to do pull records for you or do some put my reputation on the line for you, I'm going to know what's in your past. I'm going to know. No offense, but I mean, it's just too easy for me to just get the record, and it's the same with everybody else out there. I get the records just like any other person out there. So if I can do it, anybody else can do it. If somebody thinks that I've done something, pull my record, do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you my record. I mean, some people act like if they find out anything about you, people told me, oh, you need to change your name. You need to not use your name. It'll take, if you're a good hacker, let me just use that term. If you're good on the computer, whatever, it'll take you an hour to figure out my name. So I used my name. I didn't make up no funny name, whatever. I used my name. Because if somebody's good on the computer, it'll take them a few minutes to figure out my name. So if you want to pull up my record, don't take the time. Just ask me, I'll tell you. But yeah, I want to know the people around me. If you're going to babysit my grandkids, it's a good chance I want your FBI background. I want, call Interpol, FBI, CIA. I want to know it all.
For me, I don't usually show, but because I know people get involved in this sort of genre because they have issues. Usually with police, they usually have a record. They usually have some sort of issue. There's something that brought them into this. Not they don't all have great backgrounds, and so you try to judge people on, who they are standing in front of you today. You do. I mean, I do. I do my very best to, go with an open slate. You got a clean slate with me, and then I just listen. I listen to the details. I'm very fixated on details, and people that know me know that I'll, if you bring up something, I'll ask you the details about it just because I'm curious and I remember them. And if, you give me a detail one day and it's something that's a lot different the next day, I might be interested in just exactly why you're twisting the story or what actually did happen, and I know how to find out. So I just find out for myself.
So I think it's really important to say that if somebody's going to make an accusation against another person, be willing and ready to show the proof of that allegation. Because if you don't, you make yourself out to be a fool. And I do want to answer someone in the chat. It was timed out. I didn't write a long scathing letter. It was actually a text message in Messenger, and I had every right to answer to someone calling me a cunt. So
That was going to be one of my questions. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so the day I did it, I got up on a live stream and read it out in front of many people on a live stream. And it was 2 days later that it was put up on, that Emo did a video on it. So he was a little late to the party. I'm not ashamed that I answered to what he said about me at all. And anybody who feels like I didn't have a right to do that, screw you.
Here's another question. Cindy, do you think you could take Lady Di in a fist fight? Number one, I am 52, overweight, old, and no, I don't think I could take her in a fist fight. Now, 30 years ago, that is the only thing you're going to find on my criminal record. Cindy might have gotten arrested. Cindy might have smacked somebody. You don't need to pull my arrest record, because I'll tell you, I might have gotten arrested because I might have smacked somebody.
How do
So
you think you would do if you don't think you
30
you would,
years ago, I might. What'd you say?
Cindy, if you wouldn't participate in a fist fight, what about a cane fight? What if we got you each a cane?
Cane fight, you're on. Cane fight, you're on.
So Teresa can put this to rest. Teresa, you know Paul N. Fullerton, yes? He's on one of the Discord channels.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that my sock account, Teresa?
I don't think so. Paul's been around.
Thank you. So Faye's in the chat. There you go. There's your proof. I am not Paul N. Fullerton. Thank you very much.
Here's a question I have, ladies. Do you get upset, worked up, whatever you want to put it, when a man, and I mean a man, calls you a name, cunt, bitch, whore, slut, whatever? Does that bother you? Do you get worked up? Do you care? I get to answer last.
The act of actually using those words doesn't bother me, but the context, right? If somebody's calling you out by your name, unjustifiably, I think they should be called out for doing that. It's not that I have my feelings hurt about it. It's that, why are you doing it to begin with? Because I haven't done anything to you to start, to justify your attack on me. So am I going to address that? Yes, I'm going to say, how do you justify that? Is something that you're calling me that because of something you heard, not because of something that you saw or for yourself or heard for yourself, and you're just going by rumor, So justify it. If you want to do it, at least justify it. If you can't justify it, shut your pie hole.
Well, my opinion is, I don't. If you want to call me names and all that, that's fine. You're going to make the rules, because I'm going to be calling you some names too. So if you want to play that game and you want to play the name calling game, I can get right in there in the mud with you, and I can call you some names back. The only thing that would bother me is if someone would, try to stop me because they didn't like me calling them names after they called me names. Does that make any sense?
It does, and I agree with that. We have the right to go back on it. We do.
Teresa, I'll never forget. I forget whose panel. Maybe you remember. I don't know, but you just fussed me up and down and all around, and I was like, oh my God. But you had a valid point, and I remember that to this day, that people have the right to be upset, so even to this day, say for example, Cindy gets real upset on panel, maybe she needs to get it out, and she's got that right to get upset. But I guess it wasn't that important that to remember where or why you were upset. But I think I was trying to calm things down a little bit. But I'll never forget that moment. It taught me a lot.
Yes, what about being called bitter and scorned by the lass? Well, that's yeah, that's a title that I have now, bitter and scorned. I've you know, pined for 2 years for a rapist, and yeah, it's I'm feeling really bitter.
You've been
Yeah,
through
but
hell.
that's yeah.
Teresa's
So
been
don't
through
Well,
hell.
I don't care myself if a man, which once he does that, he loses the name of man. If a male person wants to call me any of those names, I don't care. But the reason I don't care is because to me, he's using it to try to trigger. And if I react to it, then he's won the trigger contest. Now, but you're correct. Once he's done that, then the gloves are off. But in the beginning, he's using it as a trigger. You're seeing so many, or I'm seeing, this is my opinion, so many on these live streams, cunt, 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 cunt. And it's just like a normal everyday thing on these live streams. Well, on certain live streams, certain women go through the roof. So these men are using it. How many times, it might just be me, how many times do you hear the word cunt on some of these live streams?
I've actually been called that a lot.
It depends on
Personally.
it depends on whose live stream you're watching.
Well, and I've actually become immune to it. I used to, oh, that's a horrible word, and blah, blah, blah. I was raised with a very spiritual grandmother, religious grandmother, and my mom is like a Southern belle. But I'm immune to it now. When New England came after me, when I made a comment about his daughter running the show, whatnot, he called me all these filthy names and blah blah blah. I'm really proud of myself. I didn't come back at him and call him names, but I have done it through pictures, like Teresa, expressing my feelings through pictures and not doing the name calling. I don't know what's worse though.
Oh, if my mother never heard that word said in the house, my mom would have probably had a stroke.
Oh yeah, my mom too, and my grandmother. Yeah.
I would,
We,
yes, it's meant to be horribly disrespectful. It is.
growing up, we had a list. This is a true story. We had a list on the refrigerator of words, and it was a list of words of what they was, and then on the other side was the list of what they really meant. It was like the slang for what they was. So this was a list of words you can't say because this is what they honestly meant. Was that
So,
right in the refrigerator? Don't
right.
say
So,
these because that's what they really meant.
yeah, it does not mean the definition that Lady Di decided to give it to herself. It is a very derogatory term. But I'm going to tell you men out there that are listening, whether you're chatting or not, the minute you let that word leave your mouth in a derogatory way, calling a woman that, it actually makes you one. So think about that when you're calling a woman that, because it makes you exactly what you're saying. Picture that in your mind.
Cindy,
I
I'm
usually
sorry, go
tell
ahead.
them they better watch out for this cunt.
Cindy, I don't know if this has happened or anybody else on the panel, but I've on this same property, I've had my mouth washed out with soap by my grandmother, and I used to tease her about it for a long time, and she always denied it. But trust me, it happened. I'll always remember that.
Oh, my sister, mom had Palmolive dish soap, and my sister did something. I don't know. She was acting up. Mom washed her mouth out with Palmolive dish soap. So my mom went into the other room. My sister comes into the front room. Of course, she's mad, but my sister never could shut up. It's like, okay, you got in trouble. Now shut up, go outside, get away, let mom cool down. She comes in there in front of mom with the dish soap and she's reading the ingredients. I said, what are you doing? To tell mom all these horrible things she had just put on her tongue. Mom is horrible because she just put this stuff on her tongue. Mom said, put that dish soap away, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of those derogatory terms, whether they're against men or women, either way, were never used in my house growing up. No, you never heard that stuff. I never heard that stuff until I was an adult, which I became an adult at 16, but that's beside the point. They were never used in my house. No cursing was used in my house, neither by my parents nor by my siblings. So it really was new to me when I went out in the world to hear these things, and I hear them so much now. It's like, okay, well, like I said, if it's coming out of your mouth, it makes you what you say. Because if the woman or the man, either way, that's being called a name like that, you can't justify it, then it just makes you what you're saying, and it's really no reflection upon them at all.
Oh no, we wouldn't have. My dad was a pastor. I'm one of those preachers' kids y'all hear about, them evil preachers' kids. People always say preachers' kids are the worst. Well,
Yeah, about the worst in my home was maybe damn. My mom very, very rarely cussed. I think her mom, who died at 51 with lung cancer, so I never knew my mom's grandmother, my mom's mom. But my mom's mom said the S word shit a lot. So I very rarely say that word. My mom never said that word because she heard it a lot when she was growing up. But never the F bomb. If I want to trigger my dad, I might say the F word to him. That'll pretty much trigger him. He's old school. Be respectful to your elders, to your to your father. Unfortunately, the F word, it might be my favorite cuss word.
I decided one time. Oh, I remember that. I can almost remember the pain. Dad and I had been getting on each other's nerves. We'd been out working in the garden and working with the animals. And he just drive me crazy. I was driving him crazy. So I decided, I thought in my young mind, I thought, I'm going to get him. And I always sat, we had assigned seats at the table because we had a long table. There was a lot in the family. And I always sat to Dad's right. So we're sitting there eating, and I decided I was going to say shit at the dinner table. Well, you didn't cuss in my family. That was not permitted.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to say shit at the dinner table because I'm going to tick him off. I said shit at the dinner table. I didn't know that man had such fast reaction. I said shit at the dinner table, and he popped me in the mouth.
So, have you guys observed in your lives, have you observed that it seems to be more acceptable for a man to talk that way than it is for a woman to talk that way? Women are actually put down for saying the same things that men say.
Oh, absolutely. In my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She cusses like a sailor.
Yes.
I've always been a firecracker, and I still am. You know, my knee-jerk reaction gets me in trouble. I think I was in a bad mood when I made that comment to Beaver about his van, and I've apologized to Beaver about that. So it seems to be maybe a topic of conversation, but you know, I'm just sometimes a firecracker, and for the record, Beaver's done nothing to me. For me to even say that, I think I was just very irritable, and after watching it, that was just my reaction, and I wrote how I felt, and like my mom always says, you know, when you write something down or email and you're upset, wait and send it the next day. And she's right, always right about that. Always right. When you're upset, don't write something in chat. And so anyway, I want to make that a public apology to Calvin's channel.
I also want to say, send my condolences to Calvin on the loss of his van, and to tell his van to rest in peace. I'm sorry it's gone. I do think the box on the back is salvageable. I've been telling him that. I think he just needs to buy a new chassis and just put the box on a new chassis and just go on.
Yeah, I saw your rip comment, and I thought that was pretty witty on that. I get, not everyone's going to react like I do, and I think that sometimes I get really just I think about how I would react, and when someone doesn't react or say what I say, then I might take offense to that, and that's something that I'm trying to overcome and trying to get better, because it's not a good quality to have. Not everyone's going to react or say or think or do what you would do. So we would all I would I'm going to be less heartbroken to stop thinking that way, because you're often disappointed a lot with friends and with family and spouses, and if you always expect them to think or say what you would say, you're going to be disappointed a whole lot in your life. So I'm trying to overcome that.
Yeah, that is something that I need to overcome too. And for the longest time, I did try to control everything around me. I'm a bit of a micromanager, so I've really tried to let go of all the feelings of responsibility that I have to do everything, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Yep.
I want to address somebody who made a funny name and they think they're funny. Cindy Renee, put your teeth in, you're slurring. Well, it is 12:30 at night. I just a couple hours ago put my teeth in the little bowl with little denture stuff in it. But thank you for being concerned. I appreciate it. But no,
Someone,
I'm not gonna go put my teeth in.
someone,
I have
go.
brand new teeth. They're very white, and they're rubbing a sore on the bottom of my gums.
Ow.
But the next time I put them in, if you want to put your email in the private chat, I'll send you a picture of me with my teeth in.
That's
Cindy, do
cute.
you have a piece of sandpaper or an emery board?
I'm supposed to go back and get them redone. They're brand new. They're actually brand new. I've been in an accident, and I did some damage to my face. And
Someone
so,
please tell me if
so
I am.
the teeth were broke
Wow.
because of the damage to my face, and COVID just screwed up the whole process. The very day I was supposed to pick them up, the dentist office called and said they were closed. So I had to wait all them what felt like months or weeks to go get them. And then when I went to get them, they weren't done right. So then I had to go through processes of getting them refitted. It was a disaster. So I
Yeah.
finally just got them, but there's one spot that keeps rubbing on the bottom, so I gotta go get them fixed off a little bit.
Someone please tell me if I am slurring. I need to know. In any case, that's the other thing that I find very amusing when, and I'm going to tell everybody this just so you know, when you make fun of people that may be missing their teeth and you don't know why their teeth are missing, like Cindy had an accident. I've actually had all of my teeth fractured. So I don't have teeth in my mouth and I speak like this. And I'm not ashamed of it. But I do have dentures as well. But when you make fun of people with no teeth in their mouth and you make that an issue with them, you're really showing how shallow you are. Because if one day in your life you're not going to have teeth, your hair is going to be thinning, you're going to go bald, your skin is going to be wrinkled. Gravity is going to take over on some parts of your body. So get over the aesthetics, people.
5 subs away from 750. Take out your sock accounts. You guys, you know how to do it. Go in through your sock account. You need 5 more subs. I can't do it right now. I'm signed into this one account and I can't sign out right now.
Well, I had my teeth was all pulled at the exact same time. Don't let them ever do that.
That must have been horrible, Cindy.
It was absolutely hideous.
God, I couldn't
Um,
imagine. I've had one tooth pulled, and a back one. And it was awful.
I had quite a bit
well,
of denture. I had quite a bit of dental work done earlier this year as well, and and it was very tough. And I had bone spurs. Did you have any bone spurs? Lord, that was the worst.
they put me to sleep like a surgery, and I woke up, and voila. Well, it's when I got my cancer, the one cancer medicine. Um, it ate my mouth. It was just a whole hideous situation. So I had all of them pulled at the exact same time.
Hey, Cindy, can I ask you which? Do you remember which cancer medication?
No, I'd have to look it up because I keep it. I'd have to go get my file because I keep it. So I tell my doctor, it's part of what I tell my doctor that I can't take anything related to it. Like anything that's what has the same type of stuff in it.
I want to say, real quick, shut up, GB. This is not the old lady panel. We got Peachy. Peachy's young.
Yes, we are old ladies. Is
Yeah.
Taz a woman or a man?
I don't know, but I'm the oldest person up here.
A man. You talking about Taz?
Taz Auditors, is that a
Yeah.
woman or a man?
That's a man.
Oh,
That's
And
Tate.
he's wonderful. He's a good troll. He's funny. He keeps the panel and the chat entertained.
I'm gonna make us a
For the
I'm gonna make
record,
us a graphic next week for. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. For the record, I love Taz.
I'm gonna make us a graphic next week that says Golden Girls Ladies Night.
that could be it. We could sit around and discuss our scars and
You know what?
our bone spurs.
Kate is in the
wanted
chat. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amanda.
I was just saying Kate is in the chat. I was saying, oh,
You know,
Yeah, Kate, come on panel. Kate wants to come on the panel. You're more than welcome. I'm sure there's a link somewhere.
you know, one thing I found difficult coming into this YouTube internet community is that people, you have to choose sides. Either Discord side or YouTube side or First Amendment side, auditors, whatever. And I just don't like that. I choose, I'm not a sheeple to people just because, I might show up in Emo's room or somebody else's room or this room or that room. It doesn't make me a sheeple to anyone. And I don't, that's kind of my pet peeve going through all this. And like everyone, it's been my personal journey through all of this for 1 year. Teresa, you've been at it.
I agree.
Yeah, you've been at it a lot longer, Nevaeh. I knew you when you were No More Lies, right?
yeah, I was No More Lies, but I was also Nevaeh long before that. So
yeah. So you've been at it for a lot longer than I have, right?
probably.
Yeah.
But listen, this is just my opinion. The term community is used too loosely.
Yeah, I disagree because you have if you do some research on it, there's a lot of quote communities on social media. You got your special interest communities and
Aren't those genres? Those are genres, not communities.
Well, look at
Communities do not throw each other under the bus, and they do not stab each other in the back. And
absolutely they do.
Have been accused.
Yes, they do.
Oh, have you ever met the Great
do.
Debate community? Oh, the Great Debate community.
Yeah.
We're just a microcosm of other communities.
Yeah, but hold on though. Hold on though, Nevaeh. You have a community like a neighborhood. It's like-minded people that's getting together with similar interests. And with this, it happens to be on a social media platform. But you've got families. You've got neighborhoods that are communities. You got communities are not perfect. You're thinking as communities all huggy, warm, fuzzy feelings, and they're not. You've got backstabbing and lying in families. You got it in neighborhoods. You got it in schools. You got it at the workplace. So we'll agree to disagree with that one.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
worry. But I think of
yeah.
community in terms of the place where I live, not the place where I find my amusement.
Well, look it up. There's look up the term community and look up social media communities,
Taryn's
and
funny.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm part of the
Let me shout
epilepsy
out.
community.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
shout out Taryn and Wilma Dixoff. Taryn Dixoff and Wilma Dixoff. Oh no, I'm sorry, Wilma Dickfit. And I want to agree with Desert because I try to stay on the side of the First Amendment. That's my issue. I, if somebody gets denied records and I know I'll back them up. I'll do my best to help them. But I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna support, bullshit. Hi, Kate.
Hey guys, it's Claire again.
Kate, are you Mass Chick 2011 on Discord?
No.
Right now on Discord, I am pure potato.
I just kind of wanted to mention that because I think some people were confused.
And
Most of these people are, to be fair, but no, that's not me. Never has been me. I do change my name frequently on Discord. I like to change it every couple weeks because I think it's something that I think is clever. But no, I've been pure potato for a couple weeks now. I've never been Mass Chick in my life. That's a separate person. I know who that is.
And Kate, I'm a plant, by the way. So I come from the evil quote Discord, and I'm a plant in the community. And I've been officially kicked out of the community.
Did you hear about that,
Let me
Kate?
tell
She's
you
been
something.
officially excommunicated.
Yes, I saw that. Now, actually, not now, maybe later, has also been excommunicated because I'm a mod on his channel. So apparently they're just going around axing people. Our Discord causes such a ridiculous amount of strife in people's lives. You would think that it was literally like some sort of like NSA headquarters, or I don't even know the way that people treat us. Like we're infiltrating, and we have special ops going on there or something. They have spies in open
Training
Discord,
room. The training room. Don't forget about the training room.
we have a training room.
Oh, we should. That's what, it's the same kind of thing that we used to go through with the Merv Manson cult. They just couldn't get enough of spying on us. There it was it was open public chat. Anybody could. Just join whatever people. You could talk under your whatever. We didn't care. It was open, and they were just like always spying on us and posting, screenshots like we were plotting something and accusing us of being in the fusion center and whatnot. It's crazy. And now the Masshole server's kind of taken over that spot.
I'm proud to have it. I really am. I can't, you know what? God bless them. At least we're news to somebody, because I would not watch our Discord and consider it to be newsworthy ever. Most of the time it's just shit posting in there, but there seems to be a fixation lately. Somebody was telling me the other day that a bunch of them are like, oh, we have spies in there. Like, dude, I'll send you an invite. Just have an invite. You don't have to have spies.
Exactly. You don't have to spy. You can just come in and talk to us. We'd be happy to talk to you. We have voice chat in there. We can voice chat with people or whatever, text chat. We can post memes and GIFs, and it's a whole lot better than just being here on YouTube talking to each other.
Kate, I just have one question. How nasty can I get on your server?
Oh,
I like you on our server. You're fun on our server.
What's that?
I said you're fun on our server, but yeah, she can get a little NSFW. Yeah, no, but I like that. That's good. It's fun. You come up with some hot memes. I was gonna say, I know you from YouTube, but I didn't really get to know you like I did in Discord. And then you come up with some dank memes that really you come in hot.
Oh, I'm loving her. I'm loving her Photoshop and stuff. I'm really proud of her efforts. She's made me an idol. So
Peachy Rider is a low-key meme lord.
Hey,
she's pretty good.
I like to get nasty. I haven't posted the nastiness because I'm afraid that it's going to come back on you. I don't know the rules and the regs of posting things like that. I just don't.
No, you know what? I feel like the Mass Hole Report as a whole, we're people that can make fun of ourselves. Therefore, yeah, we make fun of other people too. Like, you know, like throw back, that's cool. Like, I get so like flabbergasted when people get so upset over memes and Discord. Like, like it's the most insulting thing you can do. Like, it's funny. Like, girls have the humor. It's funny.
It is funny until they start making memes of me, and that's when I gotta have a really thick skin. If I do it, then I expect some probably some backlash from it, and that's okay. I'm learning to get thicker skin. But you know, with bitch tits, putting that on his community tab. You know, the funny thing is that community tab, it doesn't get a lot of views for some reason. It just
Yeah,
doesn't.
you have a lot of engagement. Yeah, I just started kind of really using our community tab over the last few months, like consistently or whatever. But like, yeah, he definitely gets less of a level of engagement than we do, and we have like a fifth of his subscribers, so that's kind of weird.
PG, there's a question for you in the chat. What 3 items would you take to a desert island?
Oh, I've answered that already. I think I said a dildo, a shit tons of cocaine, and liquor.
Well, that's
Wow.
interesting. No matches or anything?
There's
No.
no survivors in that kit. Dude. Because through survival to the win, like you're gonna die happy on that island.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I think I
Can't
did
be in that
answer.
store.
Who asked that, Teresa?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I
That's
just
all
saw
right.
it. I thought it was funny.
That's all right.
It's funny.
That
Yeah,
was C.
forget the food if you've got cocaine and alcohol. Forget the
C.
food.
C.
Well, you
John asked
definitely
that
won't
question.
need to eat. Yeah, you won't need to eat, but you might need a fire. You know, it might get cold.
Yeah. Well, you can rub sticks and rocks together for a fire.
I think that's
If you have enough cocaine.
Why are you
Yeah, I guess
bringing a
it's a dildo.
dildo? Why don't you bring a man?
Is that an option? I thought it was an object.
Well, if you
that's
bring a
just
man,
more laundry. That's just more laundry and somebody else to feed.
yeah, if you bring a man, you have to take care of somebody else. Yeah, you end up
Let me put
having
it
to
this
take care
way.
of somebody else besides yourself.
I don't know about y'all ladies, but if I'm bringing alcohol, cocaine, and a man to a desert island, all that's coming from that is a domestic disturbance. That's it. They're gonna find our ass on the island, and maybe that would be the best way for me to survive, because they would come find us and arrest our boat. That's what would happen. Find a man, cocaine, and alcohol on this deserted island. Like someone's gonna come.
They'd raid you. This is a raid. Everybody put your hands up. Drop your pants.
No, I'm saying you would just be hearing that argument from the mainland at some point. I just feel like men, drugs, and alcohol, for me, equate a terrible time. I try never to mix any of them.
It's not a good combination. Just beer.
Not for me, no.
Beer, weed, and men. That's it. That's all I can handle.
I'm going to
I
be a
would
little
just,
bit.
I would go with the dildo. I mean, if we're going to that aspect, like a dildo is much safer. It really is.
I'm going to
You
be a
can't
little
tell
bit
you
more
you're putting
practical.
batteries on it.
They pose the same question to everybody else. I think I'm going to be a little bit more practical, so I'm bringing tools, and one of them is going to be a parang. The other one is going to be my hunting knife, which is equipped with a thero rod. So that's going to take care of my fire. Let me see, what's the third one? Third item. I'll have to think about the third item. It's not going to have anything to do with the man, though.
Good choice.
Yeah, I'd probably bring a magnifying glass and maybe an axe and, I don't know, maybe a slingshot.
Wow.
I would bring
I'm bringing a man. I'm bringing a man, Dr. Pepper, and a boat.
You're in a boat.
So when I run out of Dr. Pepper, I can use my boat to go back and get more Dr. Pepper.
The boat's probably the best idea so far.
It is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I can build a boat. If there's any
Well-
trees or anything like that on the island, and I have my parang and my hunting knife, I can build a boat. No worry.
Yeah,
If I
well,
bring a man, he can build the boat. I mean,
I know.
he can build the house.
Depends on the
don't bring
man.
a dummy.
Yeah,
Don't bring a dummy.
it
Bring
depends
somebody
on the
that's
man.
handy.
That's why I'm
Bring a
bringing the
Maytag
man.
repairman or something. Bring a carpenter. Bring a good carpenter. Maybe a real sexy carpenter.
I'm sorry, I'm just not bringing anything that I have to feed. Because nine
Well,
times out of 10, most men don't know survival skills, so I'm certainly not going to be counting on them to do anything for me.
You better get better men.
No,
Hey,
I am used to taking care of myself. Thank you very much.
hey, Cindy. Jimmy said when Cindy wears out the man, she can use her boat to get another one.
That's right. See, I got my boat for certain reasons.
Yeah, but what about gas?
It's a rowboat, okay? I don't care.
it's a sailboat. You only need the wind, right?
That's right.
Someone to take out the garbage, yeah. But it's more laundry, Morgie, and all they do is take the trash out. More laundry, more dishes, and what do they do? They
If
take
you're
the
the only
trash
one
out.
on the island, you don't need clothes.
I have to wear socks. I have to bring socks. That's right.
Well, yeah, I'd probably have socks on, but you can wash the socks out in the ocean water.
Who needs socks on the beach?
That is true. I think I probably want some sandals, though, or something to put on my feet. I don't know. Maybe I could wrap them in banana leaves.
If you bring the proper tools, you can make everything that you need.
Well, it's not like you're going to show up on the island naked, right? So I would assume that you'd have clothes and maybe Tevas. I like Tevas.
What is a Tiva?
They're sandals.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
ex-bootlicker? No, we don't want to do that. Naked and Afraid with Cindy premiering next Friday night. I don't think so.
What was that show where they would, oh, gosh, the very first one where they had to survive? Was it Survivor? Yeah, it was called Survivor. And remember, they would like give them these like little tube tops and stuff to wear, and they just looked terrible. They just looked terrible in those clothes. I really didn't like that show too much.
You know, I had a principal at a high school. He was actually the youngest principal in Fulton County, but he got accepted on Survivor, but he had to make a decision to go on to Survivor or accept his principalship job. And I think he made the right decision and continued with his career. He was a wonderful principal.
Yeah, I would have been stupid to go on Survivor.
And this is when it was really popular. I mean, getting really, really popular. Yep.
I always tell Ross that I want to do the Greatest Race or whatever it is. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Did I interrupt you, Kate? Were you going to say something?
No, I was just wondering if you guys have seen that Emo is mad at me again. I'm sorry, I was over at a friend's house and we were watching a lot of emo videos, and I don't know, do you guys follow the whole emo thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were talking about it earlier.
Where we all have shares in the channel.
I missed it. I mean, here's a good question though. Do people go too far with emo?
I would say yes, in my opinion.
I
What'd she
don't know
say?
that they go that
Say
far
that
with
again?
them until she said, "Do people go too far with emo?" I don't know that
Yes,
they go too far
absolutely.
until after he goes a little bit too far. I don't know. I think it's a little tit for tat.
It goes both ways. No, sometimes let's do it this way. Certain people have gone too far.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest here and be my conscience, if you will. But I think that emo is tremendously entertaining, and like he rebuffs any attempts at kindness, which is fine. He's on the internet. Technically, nobody owes you any kindness on the internet, right? Like that's just like a thing. Like as soon as you want to elevate yourself to like some public level, you have to accept everything that's going to come your way, and a fair amount of it is going to be stuff that may wound your ego because you're getting a bunch of different opinions. But I mean, he just triggers off so easily that it becomes like, I mean, like it looks like an act. I'm sure it's not, but I was showing some friends and my husband and stuff. They were like, this guy can make so much money. Like this is pure entertainment. Like I wish that he would just
I
embrace
keep
that.
saying that. I keep saying that. He should have his own. He should have his own reality show. I think people would watch it. I mean, I'm telling you, I have just been glued. I hated to have to go somewhere today. I've been glued to my computer watching this stuff.
I mean, he could really just do a video a day about something that really pisses him off, really gets his goat, right? It's pure entertainment. Like, and I mean, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's done to him, if you want to call it that, but a lot of the little pranks and mischief is pulled, it's pretty harmless. Like, it's like his reaction is like comically overblown. Because, like, you know, yeah, they make some videos and they tease him about, you know, a diaper video that he made himself, right? Or like when we convinced him that we bought his channel for $6,000, right? Like he got disproportionately upset. It was an innocent prank, it really was, but the reaction was just gold. Like it was so good. It was so good.
Oh, I know. The reactions are just they're hard to pass up.
But I would like to see him do his own stuff for a little bit without her.
I think he could get up there and bitch and moan about politics, and people would, I mean, you know, if he really embraced some of the current events that are going on and just go on one of his crazy rants about stuff like that, I think he'd probably appeal to even more people, to be honest with you.
I suggested that to him. And
You know what?
and Lady Di came in and kicked me out of the channel.
I would like to do a series of a show where we just take Emo to do shit that he's never done before. Like maybe stuff that he's not really thrilled about doing, you know, perhaps. But like I think that like, you know, getting Emo in a golf cart would be pretty entertaining to watch, you know what I mean? Or like getting Emo to I can't think of
on a motorcycle. Kate, he owns a motorcycle, and I think that he needs to get his motorcycle license. But he loves motorcycles, so
I'm thinking more like, okay, so there was this travel show. I can't remember who did it, but he sent his rather sour friend, who was maybe a little bit closed-minded and enjoyed new experiences, to travel to all these really exotic foreign places and take part in the local culture, right? And he was never quite thrilled about it. And I think it was called An Idiot Abroad. Like, ignore that. The title's kind of bullyish, but anyway, the guy probably had a really good time with it underneath it all. But he was so pissed off about doing all of it. And I could see doing that on a smaller scale with Emo. Just, you know, like, go out and experience the world, Emo. You know, he can fish you all kinds of possible. By the end of it, we all learn life lessons.
Okay, you're kind of breaking up. Hang on. Get into a better spot. Hang on.
Damn it, hold on.
Okay, I think you're back.
I was just pitching a show idea, hoping that Emo would hear it. That's all I was doing. Emo, call me and we'll do a travel show.
Yeah, like I mean, he could ride a Segway. He could swim with dolphins.
But how much of this is just an act? How much of this is just actor for YouTube?
Well, whether it's an act or not, people would love it. People would love him going through a haunted house. They would just, they would love it. He'd be great. All kinds of situations that you could put him in that he probably would never put himself into. And it'd probably be fun for him, you know, to get to do new things. It's a great show idea. I'm not, why are you pitching it to him? You should be pitching it to Netflix. Did we lose you, Kate? Yeah, I think we did. Anyway, we've been...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Teresa.
Well, I was going to say we've been going for about 2 hours now. And so I thought maybe if you guys had anything else you wanted to talk about, we could talk about it now, because I think we're going to wind it up.
Oh, yes. Peachy, I think you said something about picking sides. Didn't you say something about that?
I did. Or not picking sides, but having other people putting pressure on you to choose a side.
to choose a side. I
Yeah.
thought that was very unique. You said that because it was actually last night. Someone said something to me in a chat that they have seen. I am. Let me see how they said it, so I say it right. They mentioned a couple of chat rooms I'm in, or a couple of places I am, and they say they want to know if I really should be there because I'm a nice person, and the people that are in those rooms are not necessarily nice people. And I need to think about whether or not I should be in those streams. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
And I
Again,
thank
it's
you for your opinion.
yeah. Again, it's people forcing their their opinions and their thoughts and what they would do on you. And that's one thing that I've really had to overcome. Jen T has really helped me out a lot with this. You know, um, with things like that. I didn't mean to cut you off, Cindy.
No, you're fine. But my opinion, whenever someone tells me, gives me an ultimatum, which it really wasn't an ultimatum, but it's like, you shouldn't be there, or because you should be here. Well, you done made my choice for me because I don't take ultimatums. But obviously, if I am somewhere, obviously I must like those people, even if you think those are bad people.
Well, you know what I really struggle with? Because I've met a lot of people, quite a few people at the picnic here in Georgia. And I really struggle with, like, well, Peachy, this person has animal cruelty charges and this and that. And, I really, really struggle. And really get hounded. You leave comments with this person's video or that person's video, and they've got such, such and such record. Excuse me. I really struggle with that because I'm an animal lover. And if this person has animal cruelty charges, then, but yeah, I met this person. I kind of like this person, but yet this person's got animal cruelty charges. And that doesn't sit well with me. And I really struggle with that.
I don't know if those were actually disposed of, though. So here's my feeling on that. I'm going to go where I want, when I want, how I want, and nobody's going to tell me to do it differently than how I want.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people try to bully you into doing,
Right.
making you feel guilty and doing what they want you to do.
Yeah, that's what Sancho just put in there. Avoid misogynists and avoid bullies.
Avoid gaslighters too. Is that what they call it? Gaslighting? Yeah, I believe that's the word. Try to avoid those kinds of people too.
Okay, I'm really stupid. I'll admit when I'm stupid. I don't 100% get what that word is.
Gaslighting is when someone tries to convince you that you're mistaken for whatever kind of concocted reason that they can come up with. They call you crazy. You didn't hear that. This, I didn't say it like that. I said it like this. It's a way of people, usually narcissistic people. It's a way that people have of lying. It's a way that certain people have of sort of being deceptive and making you believe what they're saying or making you doubt your own opinion.
Okay.
Make it
simple.
when
it's all bullshit.
Make it simple. It's like an abusive husband that tries to get his wife to believe that it was her fault that he hit her. That's the simplest way to put it. That's gaslighting.
Sort of, I would say like what happened with Mike the other night, and how it was, no matter, they've got people convinced through gaslighting that, that was somehow someone else's fault and not Mike's. It had to be someone else's fault because, number one, it had to be some sort of plan that they came up with. And number two, that's what they always do. They always plot these things, And number three, it's just a whole bunch of little lies to make you doubt, that well, why would they do something like that? They're plotting. Oh, well, I had no idea, and I mean, it's the gaslighting. It's so that people buy into the bullshit.
Well, I want to
Swim.
say something about Uncle Tickle. Polly, he had asked Benny, well, did you see a spike in people coming to your channel when this Mike and Dulce and all that went down? And I was there lurking in and out. I was about asleep because it was early in the morning. And no, there wasn't a spike. But people think, and I'm going to speak on experience with this because I see it. And I've been in Discord maybe more in the last 2 or 3 weeks than I ever have been. But people drop links in Discord and that's supporting. A lot of times it's just supporting the live channels that are, streams that are going on. So people drop links, and when they drop links, then a lot of people that are hanging out in there will go to that channel, and it's not anything to do with strategizing to troll or be mean or anything like that. I just want to say that.
Yeah, that's very true.
To be fair, yeah, sometimes absolutely. We are trolling channels in our Discord. You can clearly see that. We're not fucking hiding it. Sometimes we will troll your channel because it's fucking funny. Not all of us, not everybody in there, but yeah. To say oh no, you're like, yeah, of course we're trolling your fucking channel because you get so goddamn triggered. I'm assuming you're talking about Ken Fan and Emo, right?
Well, right now we're actually talking about the Betty and Mike. What's Mike's last name? Mike, the
Taylor?
coffee, the guy,
Taylor.
Taylor, the one that makes
Taylor.
coffee in the bathroom. He got into a big brouhaha with Betty the other day and started calling her a hoe and all kind of nasty names. And
Oh, was that on Brian's channel?
yeah, it was in the morning. I believe it was on Polly's channel, possibly. I don't remember exactly whose it was. Maybe it was Brian's, but I think it was Polly's that it was on. But the night before, it was on Beanie's channel. So it started out at Beanie's channel, and then it moved over. And they were saying, that it wasn't Mike's fault because we must have plotted it, because that's all we do in Discord is plot it. And, we went in there and we triggered him, and, just the whole 9 yards of trying to blame somebody else for his bad behavior.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, it's trolling. Nobody anywhere is interested enough in these people to plot mass attacks or something. Well, freaking save your chat with dumb shit, and not Polly Christie or Bryant, honestly, because fuck them. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this right now. If anyone has any, tears or hurt feelings over any of those people, then snap right out of that, because that is garbage. It's just like a mixture of locker room talk mixed with a bunch of little girls gossiping and fight. That's what they do. I have never seen more useless channels. They bring nothing about substance, though. Seriously, it's them constantly degrading women and talking a bunch of shit and talking, paranoid delusion, who's plotting on us. Nobody gives a shit about these people. Fuck Mike Taylor. Who is that guy anyway? He's literally nobody. Nobody.
You're right.
Kate, I have a question that we asked earlier. What's the difference in your mind between trolling and lying?
Well, I think, go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
Sorry. I think that trolling is something that at its core is pretty light. You don't go in and dox people. That's not trolling. That's not appropriate. You don't get into really personal, fucking hurtful attacks or anything like that. It's when you go in and you try to throw the conversation off, or you say something that you know is going to annoy them. You know what I mean? That's about it. Hey, Josh, you have luscious tits. Or you call Brian Jabba the Duck. You know what I mean? That sort of. You throw something off topic and it's disruptive, but I mean, it shouldn't be that deep. And I'm sorry, but don't yell there in a theater. You know what I mean? Don't create. If you're gonna make up a story for trolling, it better not be anything plausible or malicious.
Well, I've seen a lot of trolling to change the narrative for the better, because people are they're talking about things that aren't quite correct with the law, and so some, so that's why people they get
But that's
quote
not trolling.
yeah they
That's perfect.
yeah, well, they will direct. Oh, you're a troll. Well, I'm a troll because I tell the truth.
But here's the
But,
thing. Like, let's get the term correct here, okay? You know where the word trolling originates from? And I'm sorry, but a lot of these dumb shits, they hear troll and they're like, they're thinking dungeon creatures. Like, no, the term trolling comes from a form of fishing trolling, which means essentially like dredging the bottom, sort of. Like you're dredging for a reaction. That is what trolling is. It is off topic. It is disruptive. It shouldn't be malicious, but no, simply disagreeing with someone does not make you a troll. That's insane.
yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
mean. People are
Yeah.
so useless that they don't even understand the terminology that they wish to employ. Like I get it, but I just don't understand at this point, honestly, why people get so personally entrenched in these. Like these are very petty dramas that become unamusing very quickly. Like, as soon as somebody starts messing with, really bigoted viewpoints and personal low blow attacks all the time, and there's nothing of any substance, like it's not even worth anyone's time. Like News New England's panel is a creature that if left alone will die because there's no intrinsic value to it other than what these dramas bring them. So I would say to anyone who is engaged in drama on that panel, like rather than get upset about it, just decline the invitation, because at the end of the day, like the tiny little bit of notoriety that they get, the 40 people watching at one time, or maybe 50 if it's actually 60, they're not there for substance. They're there to watch the fucking dumpster fire. Like, don't jump into it. That's all.
Well, I have something to say too with the Dulce Betty thing. Her comment to Mike was not much different than my comment to Beaver on his channel. It's just I got thrown under the bus for it and chastised for it, and Betty got the opposite. That's just my opinion on that.
I don't know who Beaver is. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You don't know about that. I don't. I'm not going to explain, but everybody else pretty much knows.
But one of the things that got Emo worked up this week is because somebody named Dirty Cop spent last Saturday maybe trolling Lady Di, but some of the things that was being said was what I personally would call straight up lies. But maybe I don't understand the trolling thing, but he was saying stuff like Cindy wants Emo to kill himself. And then just some things, Masshole had bought the channel.
Yeah, I started that rumor. Okay, so I would say that telling somebody that an acquaintance or friend of theirs wants them to kill themselves is over the line. That is not that's not great trolling. It's just lazy and nothing else. There's nothing really intrinsically funny about that.
Yeah,
I stand by telling him that we bought his channel because it was such a ludicrous story that it's not plausible. You know what I mean? Like part of what's so funny about it is that he can't stop and just calm down and realize like that's insane. It makes no sense and you guys sound dumb. So he gets all worked up on something that is intrinsically pretty harmless and dumb. Like obviously, like if we bought his channel, then he'd be $6,000 richer. Good for him. Like actually, I think that we said that we bought it from Gary Snowflake, so he got nothing. But the point is like. It's just ridiculous.
No, I think you bought it. I think you bought it for more than 6,000. But
no, we had told him 6,000. Of course, the story changes, blah blah blah, because like people can't I'm sorry, but a little bit of trolling it makes for good entertainment. Like we all laugh together. It's not we're not like haha you're such a piece of shit, Emo. We're just like this is funny because the situation itself is funny. But like I know some people bring in Lady Di's daughter, granddaughter, and all that. Like, that's fucked up. Leave them out of it. You know what I mean? Like, poking at somebody's intimate personal pain is just it's just wrong. It's irrelevant. Like, that's weak minded. Like at some point, there's just something.
Yeah, that's what was happening. Is some of the funnier stuff because like Nevaeh and I bought portions of the channel from you, but I think you bought it for like. I think you bought it for more like 10,000.
They got drug into the troll.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think you bought it for like 10,000 last week.
So actually, here's how the story went, and this is what Lady Di was told. They were trolling her on her live stream, and they said that Cindy Renee, Andrew, myself, and Navin were all collaborating to have this tournament to make Emo get so upset that he was going to commit suicide and we were going to take over his channel. That's how it started out. And then she started wrenching all those people, and they could just spun the story bigger and bigger and bigger.
I don't know why they don't recognize the troll.
I know, right?
I don't get it,
Honestly, I was like,
but they don't, and I think that's probably the funny part of it all, you know. And then they get over it within a few days, you know. So.
oh, they haven't gotten over it yet. They're still talking about it.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll move on. They'll move on to Gary tomorrow, and y'all
She was
will
gonna,
be off
no,
the table.
today she was gonna drive a bus over me.
That stuff's funny. Sorry, I don't mean to cut out, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I actually.
Yeah, we were just fixing to get off as well, but I don't know. We started talking again. We probably need to wrap everything up. It is getting late. It's midnight here where I'm at, and I know I'm an hour after a lot of people that's on the panel right now. Peachy, I'm going, before I go, I'm going to be in Georgia probably in October, so hopefully I'll get to see you while I'm there.
That would be great, Teresa. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway,
what month? I'm sorry, what month did you say? October?
October, early in October.
That's a great month to be here in Georgia.
Awesome. I can't wait. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I hope there's no snow or anything that gets in the way, because we're going to go all the way up to New England and stuff. Anyway, I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging in there with us for a whole 2 hours. Whew. I can hardly ever go on for 2 hours talking. I had a really good time with you guys. You ladies. Ladies. I'm going to have us a new graphic next time, though. It's going to say Golden Girls. You guys let me know if you have any particular pictures you want me to add into it or whatever. But I'm going to fix this up with something. Maybe a pair of false teeth at the bottom or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming in, and also don't forget to hit the like button for Sancho and subscribe. Everybody take you ladies take all your trolls and go subscribe to this channel, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.